And welcome to this segment of Motorcycle Madhouse Biker News, brought to you by Insane Throttle Biker News over on HarleyLiberty.com. Two stories today have to deal with the East Coast Hells Angels, and one, I'm sorry to say, Royal Enfield's thinking about getting rid of the Bullet and some other popular brands because it's just not driving sales. That stinks for all those that love the Bullet. Anyway, let's roll the intro. Okay, out of WPRI, you guys ever wonder what it was to be in a motorcycle club? You will now see for yourself. Police are monitoring the Hells Angels headquarters as bikers arrive for a fundraiser. Yes, here's a small video. If you're on Motorcycle Madhouse Radio, come over to YouTube, you'll see it, as they monitor the guests coming through. Now, you don't even have to be a freaking member of a club. If you're going to one of their events, they will get you. They will identify you and put you as an associate of that particular club. That's so you know it is a real thing. I know a lot of people, oh, that don't happen. Yeah, it happens, man. You know, most of the time, depending on how much you show up to the clubhouse, they might have more photos of you than you do. Okay? Anyway, by Tim White. And this is out of Rhode Island. Providence and state police are monitoring what is expected to be a large gathering of bikers at the Measure Street headquarters of the Hells Angels on Saturday. This just took place, and boy, did they have the freaking law enforcement out there. But this story I wanted to get to you because a lot of people ask, and a lot of people try to deny that this don't happen, especially those that are more cozy with law enforcement, or you got law enforcement saying it don't happen. It happens. The party, advertised by the biker club on social media, is billed as a way to raise money for the defense fund of Joseph Lancia, who was arrested after he allegedly fired a gun at a passing truck on June 12th. We actually did have that story on Insane Throttle Biker News last year. And what happened was, I guess it had to do with an ex-member or something, ex-prospect, one of those things. And he was driving by and they all ran out and shot up his truck. Not the best thing to do in all, open daylight, because it usually don't work out too good. Anyway, Lancia has been identified by law enforcement as the president of the Rhode Island chapter of the Hells Angels. He has pleaded not guilty to charges of assault with the intent to commit murder, assault with a dangerous weapon, discharging a firearm while committing a crime of violence, and carrying a pistol without a permit. Promoted as the Keep Joe Free support party. Man, do I remember all those support parties, man, to keep somebody free. The flyer asked for a $20 donation for music, food, raffles, and auctions. Law enforcement sources, you gotta love the sources. Why don't you just tell them it's the cops telling you all this stuff? Tell Target 12 they are aware of the party and will be monitoring it throughout the day and evening. The Hells Angels have been embroiled in an ongoing feud with rival gang The Outlaws, which has a club in Woonsocket. You know, it's always funny how these newspapers bring in the other clubs. The AOA had nothing to do with this, so why even bring them in here? You know, that's just ridiculous. Target 12, which you've seen the video if you're over on YouTube, rolled by the headquarters Saturday around 2, being busybodies, these people, man, come on. And witnessed a large gathering of bikers. Well, it's a benefit, it's a party. What do you expect? 10 people to show? Come on. Sources say the party is expected to draw members and affiliate gangs. There we go. There's the gang word. From out of state. Police say Lancia shot at a truck because it was being driven by a former pledge for the gang. Well, I guess it is, it was a prospect, pledge. Where did they get this information at, man? The two other people charged in the instance Lance Moore, 54, and he was arrested for a Schedule 2 meth, compounding and concealing a felony, and misprison concealment of a felony. Yeah, they just love throwing all kinds of charges out there. Then there was Amber, 25, indicted on a Schedule 1 THC. Well, I'm glad here in Illinois, man, it's a lot more legal. You know, been enjoying that. Anyway, let's go to our next one, shall we? Let's see here. Oh, this is a big one. Bronx Justice News. Detectives, you know, everybody's been talking about the Bronx headquarters of the Hells Angels. That's where the 3rd Street crew moved from New York City to. And right off the bat, there was shootings going on against the clubhouse. We actually had it on one of the videos where you can actually see it happening from CCTV cameras. But anyway, detectives probing Hells Angels shooting to look to head off gang war. Wow, don't they want to make it spectacular headlines? And this is by Sasha Gonzalez. Mamacita, how you doing, honey? Man, I love mamacitas. They just sexy as hell. That's just me. Anyway, detectives are running down leads in an attack that saw gunmen on motorcycles open fire on the Hells Angels Bronx clubhouse earlier this month. A shooting they hope to solve before the violence escalates, authorities said. Now, I got a lot of interesting comments on who's around there. It's mostly of ethnic members of motorcycle clubs, ethnic motorcycle clubs and stuff. So they might not be too pleased about the Hells Angels moving in their turf. Not too pleased, I have to say. Then you got other ones out there that are in that neighborhood. Again, I'm not from that area. I'm Chicago. I know Chicago gets stuff and all that good stuff. A police official told Bronx Justice News investigators are examining all possibilities in the case, including whether a rival gang shot up the Angels' New Throg's Neck digs on January 2nd. The motorcycle club, which has historically doubled as a violent street gang, recently relocated its headquarters from Manhattan to the Bronx. I just put out an article over on hooliganbiker.com, which has to deal with motorcycle clubs versus street gangs and when that line is crossed. You know, that they start getting freaking, targeted as a gang. So go over there, check that one out. Anyway, investigators are concerned the Angels will strike back before the culprits responsible for the clubhouse shooting are arrested. The property was fired upon by multiple shooters on motorcycles who rode away and have not been caught. More than a dozen bullet casings were found outside the property, a former American Legion post following the 10:35 p.m. attack, according to police. A decent report. You know, it's got the factual evidence and all that good stuff, so it was decent compared to that last one. Anyway, Royal Enfield fans, they're officially discontinuing bullets and the Thunderbird 500. I actually took a couple shots of the bullet while I was at that St. Charles Harley-Davidson review. And again, those shots, when I'm actually doing like a documentary of all the dealerships, the Buy Your Life, motorcycle rallies, the whole thing, hopefully, you know, the first 6 months it's gonna, you know, be all shooting and all that, then the last 6 will be all editing, whole 9 yards. So that will be in there. Now, this is by Sabrina, and I really love this website, rightapart.com. Guys, got to check it out. They got a whole bunch of good stuff on motorcycles, and actually they got a lot of good tech tips as well. It goes on to read, the classic should be next. In November 2019, a rumor that Royal Enfield would discontinue its 500 models surfaced. Now, Royal Enfield is really popular in the Middle East and the Eastern countries. Real popular out there. I like the way they look, man, especially the older ones. It would be pretty cool to grab one just to say you have one. if you're a fan of the bullet it goes on, and you might want to stock up sooner than rather than later. We learned that the rumor was true, and several Indian sources confirmed the 500s are being pulled for 2020. According to the local media, without any bells and whistles, Royal Enfield removed the Bullet, Thunderbird, and Thunderbird X 500 from its Indian online listings, with the Classic 500 to follow. I don't think it's picking up steam here in the States. Again, most of its segments overseas. The 500 segment was apparently a slow one for Royal Enfield, stuck between its two more popular siblings. The 350s have been driving the brand's local sales, while the Continental GT and Interceptor 650 have been leading sales abroad since their introduction in 2018. Personally, you got the 650. I think that they can really do some damage if they get into that 750cc range. They'd have put some hurting on Honda. The problem with the 500 models is they look the same as the 350s, minus the reduced price and taxes of the smaller displacement, and they didn't quite stack up to the 650 twins quality-wise. Besides, the 350s are getting thoroughly updated for 2020 with more features and more refined performance, making the aging 500s obsolete. Talk about a winning formula. According to Dry Spark, the company felt that at this point it wasn't worth updating the middleweight engine to make it compliant with the new Indian emission standards. Oh, you got to get that. The discontinued models will be available until March 31st. Yeah, the Bullet and the Thunderbird's going to the way of the freaking dinosaurs, man, and it's a pretty looking bike too. That is a shame about Royal Enfield, but I am kind of happy that Triumph's really starting to do really good out there, and a lot of other models are doing great too. As far as the BMW, crap, you even got Harley doing some good stuff, Indian, the whole 9 yards. So don't forget, we are now on IGTV, or Instagram, as it's called. So go over there. You check it out on your phone while you're running around doing your thing, listening to us over on MotorcycleMadhouse.com, and, of course, our daily news on HarleyLiberty.com. You guys be safe, and I'll catch you on the next segment.